Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to this short 5-minute broadcast. My name is Mala and I'm a student of the Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University. And the topic I've been given is Walking Lightly, Simplicity in Action. Now, we live in a world where action is inevitable. But what is evitable and what is the area where we have a choice is in accumulating the effects of that action. Now, let me explain what that means. We live in a world where we accumulate. We accumulate everything, things, which are the most obvious, food, money, clothes, accessories, whatever it is. Now, apart from things which are tangible, we also accumulate thoughts, feelings, emotions, expectations. But when we look at spiritual power, it is not about accumulating. It is about letting go, packing up, merging. Why? Because it's letting spirituality take over and moving what is accumulated out of the way. It's a bit like a flowing river. You know, when you have stagnant parts of a river, you can see it flowing. But if you look at the parts of the river which are stagnant, you will actually see accumulations of dirt, of bits flowing down the river, stuck. There is no flow of water. There is actually growth of bacteria, etc., where it is stagnant. So it's similarly with our thoughts, our expectations, our feelings. If we allow them to stagnate in us, it's only going to fester and not allow the free flow of thoughts, of feelings, of emotion. Simply letting go, creating that space for movement inside. And that movement, when you allow the water to flow in a river, it automatically cleans and clears itself. It's self-cleaning. It's very similar with our thoughts, self-cleaning. But we have to allow that flow. So to merge, to allow this flow, what does it actually mean in terms of our thoughts? It actually means to dissolve the ego. What is that blockage? What is it which is preventing that free flow? Ego, the I and the mine. And when we step back from that I and the mine, and we allow that flow of higher thoughts, the blend we get, because the I mind is still there, it has to be flushed out. So there will be a blend at some point. But what happens to that blend? Because there is a free flow of the higher I, the truth, which is filled with peace, love, and happiness, that blend blends into a higher purpose, higher truth, a loving truth, an accepting truth. And it allows for us to pack up, to choose and to close those chapters which we're hanging on to inside very quickly, because wisdom is flowing through. It's flushing out what has been blocking us for a long time. So we are no longer carrying that emotional luggage from one scene to another of life. Many of us, if we really notice, when we finish an interaction or a meeting, talking to somebody, or even interacting with somebody on email, for instance. If you just notice the self, we tend to carry a residue of that interaction. It could be irritation, it could be why the conversation gets stuck. We leave the conversation in that area which is stuck, and it replays for hours, for days, for months sometimes. And it's noise, it festers. So walking lightly in life means I choose to move on eternally. I shut down that conversation. And simplicity in action does not mean doing less. It just simply means is doing what I need to do to remove that inner clutter, that inner blockage. So a little story to illustrate this. There was a monk who only carried with him a small cloth bag. Now, I personally have encountered somebody who just lived exactly like this, and he's also a monk, once anyway, it's passed on. And someone asked him, how do you travel with so little and so lightly? And he smiled and he said, I only carry what I can easily put down. And one day a traveler was walking with him, and they were crossing a muddy path, and an elderly old woman was trying to cross that same path. Now the monk lifted her, carried her across the path, and set her down gently and just carried on walking. So the traveler who was with him asked him, I can't believe that you broke your vow, they're Buddhists, and you touched that woman. Aren't you bound by your vows? And the monk replied, I put her down ages ago. You are still carrying her. The question's why? Why did you do that? That's carrying the blockage. So the message is simple. Life will ask us to carry moments, carry expectations, carry judgments, but wisdom will ask us to put them down. And it's the choice we make between carrying and putting down. And putting down is strength. So let's take a few moments to finish with one thought. Just one thought. I let go of what happened a moment ago. Whatever the thought, whatever the feeling, whatever the emotion or expectation, I choose to let go before the next moment. End the day by replaying this, practice this. Forgive, let go, forget, move on. This is wisdom. Thank you.